The best of the Morning X with Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. 99X.
Barnes defies the polls to take the governor's seat.
Barnes was outperforming Democrats in the past in every county in the state.
Barnes says his politics will stay the same.
Barnes, the Democrat, has defeated Guy Miller.
Now those who supported Barnes are waiting to have their expectations fulfilled.
Barnes was, I think, the best choice that I had to pick, so I had to vote for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the governor of the fine state of Georgia. From West Paces Ferry in the big house, Governor Roy Barnes. Hello, Governor, sir.
How you doing?
Good morning, Governor.
Morning.
Let's set the record straight because I'm tired of answering emails, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm not related to the governor. I am not his son. I have never met the
disowning me already?
I just...
Barnes is disowning you.
Yeah, and you thought you were trying to get rid of me. Now, it's so funny, the people that... You tell your dad this, and you tell your dad that.
See, Barnes thought it would be a cute gimmick at first, but he didn't realize he was going to email from every special interest group and every PAC and every
teacher.
Right. Well, that's all right. My son says that he keeps getting your calls.
He apparently people on tours at the governor's mansion ask him if he's the guy from the radio.
Well, I have somebody every week that comes up and says, I didn't know your son was a disc jockey.
Oh, how funny. Now, Governor Barnes, I have to ask you a question. Is it true that Barnes, as in our Barnes, was playing tennis over at the mansion?
It is true.
That was a good time.
And he's a good tennis player, too.
Thank you.
He is?
Governor, yes, he is.
Governor, you're not running for office. You don't have to lie.
Tell us the
Now,
truth.
I played with Mrs. Barnes against her security guard and one of her other partners, and they're all players.
You must have been on your best behavior then.
I was behaving the whole time.
Hey, we asked this to Vice President Gore the other day about what's his absolute favorite perk about being vice president. What would you say is your favorite perk about being governor? Fun stuff.
Well, you don't have to worry about finding a place to park.
There you go. That's good.
I guess that's my favorite perk.
Uh-huh.
They always find you a place right at the door.
Sure.
I guess that's worth it all.
Now, the stuff, I got a chance to look around the governor's mansion, and I had never been there before.
Yeah.
And are like the beds and stuff that are in the residence, are those historical in the sense of, did the Carters?
Yeah, there's a Carter bedroom where that was the furniture from when President Carter was governor, and almost everything, in one way or the other, has some historic basis in the governor's mansion. You don't bring anything when you come. They just pick you up and you bring your clothes, and that's it.
Leave your stuff in storage. I'll tell you what was cool, because I got to go on a little tour there not long ago, and I dig the jungle room a lot with the shag carpeting.
That was Graceland, dude.
Oh, that's Graceland?
Yeah, different place.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What happens when, say, like Gore comes to town? Is it an automatic that he's going to stay at the governor's mansion?
They generally do. Prince Philip was there last night.
Prince
Philip? Really?
Yeah. And in fact, he's leaving this morning.
What's he doing there?
Well, he came and spoke at a United Way dinner last night, and then he's opening a British plant mattress factory down in Coweta County this morning.
Now, we're talking Prince Philip, who's married to Queen Elizabeth?
Yes.
He's in town?
Yes, he is.
Is he there right now?
He probably has left by now. He was there when I left about 7:15, and he came yesterday afternoon.
He was having tea and scones.
Yeah, he probably was, except they were cooking in breakfast. I stopped by the kitchen this morning to get me some coffee, and they were cooking grits. They were going to try to see how he liked grits.
Well, have you ever had British food? He's got nothing to complain
about.
He's
got to be fired up.
I mean, come on.
Angus and mash.
That's what I want to hear is some guy from England telling us we have bad food.
Now when when Gore comes in, how much Secret Service stuff goes on, or do they have it already, installed and ready to go, like all the direct lines to the president and all that kind of stuff?
They do have to install it, but it's pretty easy to install because all they have to do is just run it from one place. So it's one of the reasons that they stay when they come there, because it's easy for security.
That must be a nightmare, though. All of a sudden you get a call, okay, Gore's coming over. All right, install all the phone lines.
Yeah, they worry about that. Listen, I learned in this job a long time ago, just do what you're told and go where you're told. I mean, if they tell you to go somewhere at 9 o'clock in the morning, go there. Don't complain about it, and everything works out some way.
The worst call he's gotten the last year was, hey, that Barnes kid's coming to play tennis here at 1:30.
Look out.
Clear the house.
Have you ever been, I mean, because you meet people all the time, all kinds of special interest groups and lobbyists and people who, have somehow picked up an audience with you. Have you ever been sitting in a meeting talking to somebody about something, and all of a sudden it dawns on you, I have no idea who this person is or what I'm supposed to be talking about? I mean, seriously, all the people, that's got to happen from time to time.
You'll have it, but generally, by the time they get to me, I know who they are and what they generally. There was an interesting thing that happened last night at the United Way dinner. I had spoken. Jack Gwynn, who is president of the Federal Reserve, is president of the United Way this year. He spoke, and then I spoke, and then Prince Philip spoke. And then with the program we thought was over with, and this woman got up, and apparently she'd been drinking a little too much wine, and she started just talking, and finally they had to take her off.
She wasn't a scheduled speaker?
She was not a scheduled speaker. She just got up from the audience
Found her
and
way
went
to the
up there
microphone.
to speak.
You know who she was? Did they ever figure it out?
I don't know. I've never seen her before in my life, and I thought she was going to sing or something. I thought it was part of the program.
Oh, that's funny.
And so but then they started running up there, and they kind of escorted her off. And I told Prince Philip we just like to throw things in like that to liven dinners up. So.
Sure.
When can people take tours of the governor's mansion? What days?
Tuesdays through Thursdays. I can't remember the hours, but I think it's like 10 to 1. Tuesdays through Thursday. Then at Christmas, it's open every day when they decorate for Christmas.
That's really cool. It's cool in there.
Yeah, it is nice.
Have you been over there, Jimmy?
Yeah, I was there for
it's nice.
Well, no, I was there for it was a book signing. It was a What was that Matt Towery book?
Yeah.
I forgot what it was, but that was back when
Super Chicks.
Something like that. But actually, that was when Governor Miller was in.
Yes.
Did you know that he's missing a finger?
No.
Oh, yes.
I did not know that.
Yes, you knew.
Now,
that.
what one thing would we be surprised to learn about Governor Barnes? Is there a hobby that you have or something you collect that you're a fan of that we would be totally surprised?
I tell you, probably you'd be surprised. One of the things I've gone to this year, and it shocked everybody because they even sent a news crew. I went to a poultry show up in Commerce. And they had a big poultry show, and I went up. I saw it in the newspaper, and I used to raise chickens and all when I was a kid, so I went up there. And it kind of shocked everybody when I walked in.
That you would be interested in.
Yeah.
Right.
That's very cosmopolitan of you, Governor.
Oh, yes.
Going to a poultry
Mableton
show.
was in the country when I was growing up. Cobb County was in the country.
Well, that's an interesting thing that we can use to segue because, one of the reasons we wanted to talk to you this morning is there's a very special lady who is our oldest freeloader, and she's a very dear friend of ours, and it is her 93rd birthday today.
Yes.
She moved here. She moved to Atlanta in August. It'll be 91 years ago.
And she came from Cincinnati, I heard.
Connecticut.
There's probably somebody still calling her a Yankee, but even though she's been here.
Well, no, I'll tell you what.
She's very not a Yankee.
And her name is Bertha, and I think.
Yes.
No,
my birthday was Saturday, so
Happy birthday.
Pretend like we're not even here.
Hello, Bertha.
This interview isn't over. More after a quick break. You can also find it and more on the Morning X with Barnes and Leslie podcast. You're inside the best of the Morning X.